So now I'd like to take you briefly through some of the key features of the BMC PapLink Portal that you need to keep in mind. I do have a full tutorial video on the PapLink Portal from where to go, which is be much more detailed than what I'm about to go through here, but these are the key things you should know when you're first getting started out with the BMC PapLink Portal. So when you first log into the PapLink Portal, and if you don't have a login access, please let us know, we'll provide one for you. You'll start here on the dashboard. So this gives you an overview of all of your patients. Any patients that are outside of the parameters that you've set will appear here. So I can see here I've got 2 patients with a high AHI, above that 5 events per hour, some with high leak, some with a low usage time. So it just gives you an idea of patients' compliance. You can click into each one of those buttons and it will give you information on those patients that are outside of those parameters. That's the first page there. The page you'll be using most often is the patients page. So if you click on patients up here at the top, that'll take you through to your full list of patients, and you can see which patients are connected via either Wi-Fi or 4G, and you'll see their compliance levels here. So what you're ideally looking for each of these nights is a green square within a green square. That means you've got usage time above 4 hours, you've got an AHI under 5 events per hour, and then you've got a low leak rate as well. So green square within a green square, and then it goes orange and red depending on which of those parameters you fall outside of. And there is a detailed explanation in the portal for what each of those colors means. To create a patient profile in here, just click on Add, and that'll take you through to the Add a New Patient page, where anything with the red asterisk is compulsory. So patient's name, date of birth, and gender, you need to add all of those in there. You've got email, phone number, which can be added later on as well if you wish. Now, you want to enter the device serial number at the base here. So there's 2 places you can find the device serial number. That's on the back of the device, or in the settings menu under the About screen. It'll tell you the device internal serial number. You'll need that one to enable that particular device to send data through to that particular patient's profile. So in this case, the device is A3123719240. So when I enter that and click Add, it's now going to ask me for a pairing date. Now this is the important thing to keep in mind. That pairing date is the date that the patient first started using the device, because data from that date onwards will upload to the portal. You want to get that right and make sure you can't actually add 2 patients on any overlapping days, which means that prevents data cross-contamination between patients. If you've got a patient trialing a BMC device and you've paired it with their profile, the data from that pairing date will come through until such time as you unpair the device before the next patient uses it. If they then purchase a BMC device, you just pair the new device serial number to their profile, and the data from that device will continue to come through to their profile. So the pairing date is the date that they first start using the device. If you've forgotten to do it when they first start, just go back a month, a year, however long it's been, and pair it from that date. When you click Save, that'll create that new patient's profile, and then data will start coming through either Wi-Fi, if they connect to their home Wi-Fi, or automatically via 4G. Once your patient's profile has been created, if you click on their name, that'll take you into their profile, and then you can see information about themselves, and then the first page you'll see here is the daily list, and this shows you the raw statistical information. If I click on 30 days here and click search, that will show me the last 30 days of therapy and all of the basic statistics on each of those nights. If you click on the statistics page, that will then collate those days. So I can see here 9 out of the last 10 days of usage. You've got average leak, the pressure, P95 pressure, and the AHI here as well. So your key statistical information is coming through. If you've got the oximeter attached, you can see SpO2 and heart rate data as well as a part of that report. To generate the therapy report, click on Report. You want all available data as the data type. You can choose days of detailed data to come through if you wish, so just choose a couple there, and then the detailed data will generate on that report. So report looks like so: treatment report, patient's information, device settings, your statistical summary there, with all of those stats, and then you get these nice summary graphs as well for AHI, usage time, leak rate, etc. The more data you have there, the nicer it looks, of course, over time. And then you get some detailed graphs as well. So I'm looking at pressure trend across the night, any leakage that's occurring, your events occurring in real time, so apneas, hypopneas, and like I said, if you've got SpO2, the oximeter attached, you'll get that coming through as well. You can add any comments you like to that report. Just click add comment up the top here, what particular mask model the patient's using, any medications they're taking, that can all go in here and generate on that report. That can then be saved as a PDF document for printing. If your patient is connected at home via Wi-Fi or 4G modem, you've got the ability to alter the device settings in this portal. Click on device settings and then edit here. So it's going to ask you for a password. That can be the same password you use to log in with. You'll just need to create that. It'll send you an email and you just need to confirm. Enter that password, and then you'll see all of the different settings, the parameters you can change on the device. So for example, you can increase the initial pressure. You can reduce the humidification if the patient's experiencing any rainout. And of course, you can change the ramp time and other settings too. Those are applied to the device within about 15 minutes when you click save, and can be done multiple times throughout the day if you make a mistake or want to make any further adjustments. One other cool thing I'll tell you about this as well is you can view a full settings history of the device, whether there are physical changes made on the device itself or changes that are made in the cloud platform that transfer to the device. So you can see over history, if I go device to cloud, I can see that there was a change made on the 7th of August 2025 at 12:02 p.m. And I know when I click on that, exactly what settings were adjusted on that particular date and time. So it's a good way of record keeping previous settings for the patient. If you make a mistake with the pairing date, what you can do is actually amend that in this portal. If you click on the patient's profile page, you'll see here it's got the pairing date. So if I click on edit, I'm then able to amend that pairing date. Keeping in mind that if the device was paired to another patient prior, you won't be able to amend that pairing date to any date that the device was previously paired with another patient. It just prevents data going to the wrong place. If you'd like to create other users for the PapLink portal, you just click on the users page, add. So in the users page, you need a first name, last name, create a unique username, and you'll also need a unique email address for each new user, each new clinician you create in the PapLink portal. So there you have it. All BMC G3 series devices are now available with a 4G modem. We can provide that for you for installation. We'll continue to supply Wi-Fi devices as long as there is a demand for them in the market. For more information on the BMC G3 series device, any other BMC products, please contact your BMedical sales representative.